Feel that fire burning inside. The frustration, the rage, the gut-wrenching sense that no matter what's built, no matter how high the numbers climb, the system keeps breaking everyone but the few. It's brutal, raw, and impossible to escape. The market says it is free, but in truth, it's a cage wrapped in illusion, the invisible hand smothering the vast majority in silent suffering, while a reckless few ride the whirlwind of profit and power. You see the cracks, the chasms of inequality, the cliffs where society teeters, ready to fall. It isn't a theory anymore. It's personal, and it hurts. Every deal, every investment, every decision should feel like a game changer, but more often than not, it feels like a rigged table. The market mechanism, the core engine we all rely on, was never programmed to serve collective good. It's programmed for survival, for accumulation, for dividing and conquering. The system optimizes for winners and losers, but ignores what really matters, creating wealth that uplifts communities, innovation that solves real problems, economies that thrive because everyone thrives. It rewards greed with bonuses, tempts compromise for short-term gain, and punishes risk if it doesn't bleed immediate cash. This is the market's greatest betrayal, and it stings more sharply the closer you look. But what if the market, a beast everyone treats as unchangeable, could be hacked, rewritten? What if the same relentless force that drives extraction could instead be flipped, reshaped, reprogrammed to create something utterly different? Something that serves the many, not just the few? This isn't some utopian fairy tale. It is the urgent, raw challenge staring you in the face every waking hour. The truth is, it already happens at the edges. Throughout history, through disruption, through human ingenuity. The question is this: who controls the rewrite? Who gets to be the architect of this new market pulse? Here's the brutal truth you've faced painfully. The conventional wisdom is broken. The rules handed down by generations of complacency hold you hostage. Systems created to channel capital, to fuel growth, have turned into barriers locking out potential, freezing innovation in bureaucracy, fetishizing short-term quarterly earnings over the long-term survival of humanity itself. Investors and founders, leaders and builders are caught in a relentless loop. Chase returns, move the needle, optimize efficiency, cut corners. But what if the needle is pointing the wrong way? What if endless optimization without purpose only ensures collapse? It's maddening, but it's also a wake-up call. This is your battle. The invisible war against a market mechanism running wild, consuming values, communities, and hope. The painful truth is undeniable. The market is a tool, a powerful but blind tool. It doesn't know right from wrong. It doesn't know justice from exploitation. It's your job to infuse it with new code, to embed purpose, empathy, accountability, and relentless human progress deep inside its DNA. This means rewriting capital flows to reward the rare, those who dare to dream bigger and act bolder, those who build not just value but meaning. Start by embracing absolute freedom, not the hollow freedom preached by markets, but the hard, unflinching freedom to build without inherited chains, to reject outdated paradigms, to own the responsibility for every outcome. Too many are trapped by identities, by legacy, by the invisible shackles of history that tell them where to play and what to value. Break free. Commit to being the difference that breaks the loop. Use data, networks, and technology not to control, but to connect thriving nodes of brilliance worldwide. Transcend borders, not by erasing them, but by weaving them into a matrix of strategic globalization. True power lies not in tearing down walls, but building bridges where the few capable can ignite change and multiply impact. You have to demand a dynamic meritocracy, the relentless pursuit of value, not status. This disrupts centuries of complacency where power is inherited or hoarded. It dismantles the static, stagnant order. Capital must flow to those who relentlessly prove their worth, again and again, not because of who they are or where they come from. It's brutal and it's beautiful. It forces everyone to be hungry to deliver purpose, results, breakthroughs, not for applause, but because survival means evolution. Here's where you can start reprogramming. First, think of capital not as cold cash, but as fuel for impossible ventures. Real change happens when money is patient and purposeful, not chasing fleeting returns, but backing ideas that challenge mortality itself, ideas that transcend human limits and embrace diversity without fear. Invest in individuality, not conformity. Back conviction, not consensus. Build networks, raw, autonomous, fiercely complementary networks that connect the few who reject the status quo, who dream in realities beyond borders, whose tolerance for risk matches their hunger for transformation. Second, realign incentives to embrace collective good while honoring radical individualism. Markets must reward collaboration over cutthroat competition. Push companies and projects to be transparent, accountable to communities, not just shareholders. You don't just invest in people or products. You invest in ecosystems where success multiplies, where trust is currency, and where failure is seen as feedback, not disgrace. Make social impact a bottom line, not a PR move. Third, harness technology like never before, not as a tool for surveillance or control, but as a tool for liberation and empowerment. Create decentralized platforms where capital flows can be tracked, measured, and directed with surgical precision towards ventures that embody freedom, diversity, and merit. Use smart contracts and blockchain to enforce fairness, to dismantle old power structures, and to democratize access to capital and opportunity. Technology should be the weapon turned against the very illusions that have chained markets for so long. Every minute wasted on acceptance is a minute lost to this fight. The market won't fix itself because it was never meant to. It's a machine built by humans, but we've forgotten to control it. No one handed down a sacred blueprint for the good of all. It's brutal, it's messy, but it's yours to command. As founders, investors, leaders, this reality is your cross to bear and your opportunity to seize. When markets serve only profit and power, the many lose and the few win at a cost no one can afford. Build alliances that transcend geography and identity. Design incentives that reward transformation, not compliance. Push for systems that grow wealth and human potential. Demand clarity from markets with ruthless precision. Don't accept trade-offs between profit and purpose. Forge a new truth. Markets are instruments of change. Capital is a tool for liberation, and collective good is the highest return of all. This moment is your battlefield, your horizon, your chance to reprogram the system from the inside out. The market can be remade, not by chance, but by relentless, fierce intention. The question isn't if this can be done. It can and will be done, but only if those with vision and fire refuse to settle, refuse to wait, refuse to play by broken rules. Harness that unbearable tension inside, that silent scream that you are destined for more. Rise beyond all limits imposed by fear, tradition, or greed. Create the market you want to live under, a market not of illusions, but of truth, growth, and real freedom. The system is waiting. Will you be the code breaker? The system needs rewriting, and in your hands lies the power to reprogram it for the collective good. This isn't charity. This is survival. This is revolution. This is capitalism redefined.